Welcome back. In this case, we will be covering the misconduct hearing of PC Jonathan Marsh, which was conducted on the 24th of March 2025. We'll break down the allegations, findings, and final outcome for you. The allegations against PC Marsh are as follows. On the 29th of January 2024, PC Marsh attended the City of London Magistrates Court and was convicted of common assault by battery. He was sentenced to 12 weeks imprisonment, suspended for 12 months, ordered to pay compensation to the victim, statutory fines, and complete 150 hours of unpaid work. PC Marsh did appeal this conviction. However, the appeal was unsuccessful and the conviction stands.
So a violent copper. Well, colour me shocked. Although I'm surprised that he was even dragged in front of the courts. Let's see how badly he messed up. I'll put my money on a night out turned violent because this fool thought he could hide behind his badge.
The particulars of the offense are that on the 13th of November 2022, while on duty, PC Marsh attended an incident of criminal damage. He mistook the victim for the suspect and detained him. In this action, PC Marsh struck the victim's head and pushed him to the floor.
Wait, I got this all wrong. Are you telling me an officer of the law was pulled in front of a judge for something he did while in uniform? Grab your binoculars, folks, because pigs do apparently fly. This kind of thing is usually unheard of. It's almost impossible to get a court to look at these things. Never mind get a conviction. I need all the details, please.
Context of the incident is that on the day of the incident, PC Jonathan Marsh was on duty and attended an incident involving criminal damage. While responding to the call, he mistakenly identified the victim as the suspect. PC Marsh detained the victim, whom he believed to be the suspect, but instead of conducting a proper investigation or questioning, he used excessive force. He struck the victim's head and pushed him to the floor. This use of force was deemed unnecessary and excessive. As a result of his actions, the victim suffered harm, and the situation escalated unnecessarily. This led to the victim being wrongly detained and injured. Following the incident, an investigation took place, and it was determined that Marsh had used improper force on the victim. The victim, having been wrongfully mistreated, was not the suspect, and Marsh's actions were deemed inappropriate. As previously stated, because of his actions, PC Marsh was charged with common assault by battery. On 29th April 2024, he was sentenced to 12 weeks imprisonment, but it was suspended for 12 months. In addition, he was ordered to pay compensation to the victim, as well as statutory fines. He was also ordered to complete 150 hours of unpaid work. An appeal was made, but it was unsuccessful, and the conviction stands.
Well, the court's coming in clutch. But it still annoys me that this hearing waited until the court made a ruling. I mean, the copper hit an innocent man over the head and threw him to the ground. What more do you need? It makes the hearing look weak, and in my opinion, it makes it look like the panel was waiting to see the outcome. If PC Marsh had been found not guilty, then the hearing may have had a different outcome. But again, that's just my takeaway from this kind of thing.
The appropriate authority contends that PC Marsh's actions breach the standards of professional behavior under Regulation 5 and Schedule 2 of the Police Conduct Regulations 2020, as amended by the Police Conduct Amendment Regulations 2024, specifically discreditable conduct, which holds that police officers must not engage in behavior that could bring the police service into disrepute or damage the relationship of trust and confidence between the police and the public. The main issue for the panel was to determine whether it had been proven on a balance of probabilities that PC Marsh was convicted of a criminal offense and thus engaged in discreditable conduct. PC Marsh did not attend to give evidence and did not submit a Regulation 54 response to the allegations. However, his personal statement was provided by his Federation representative. Finally, it was found that PC Marsh was indeed convicted of the criminal offense of common assault by battery and therefore engaged in discreditable conduct.
What a joke. Had to determine whether he was convicted. Pick up a local paper and skip to the court reports. There, done. Proof he was convicted. Shaking my head. And has anyone else noticed he doesn't seem to be in front of the panel for the actual assault but for being found guilty of the assault? Funny that, innit? Almost like the assault doesn't matter to them, only that he was found guilty of it.
In determining the appropriate sanction, the panel took a three-stage process outlined in the College of Policing's Guidance on Outcomes in Police Misconduct Proceedings. Stage 1. Assessing the seriousness of the conduct. P.C. Marsh intentionally used violence against the victim, resulting in a charge and conviction for battery. His actions were deliberate, and therefore his culpability was assessed as high. Harm. It is unacceptable for police officers who are responsible for enforcing the law to break the law by using excessive force. The public would not expect a serving police officer to break the law and be convicted of assault. In this case, the harm caused is high. Aggravating and mitigating factors. While there are no aggravating factors related to the specific incident, it is noted that P.C. Marsh has a live final written warning for a matter related to driving. There are no mitigating factors concerning the seriousness of the conduct. Although P.C. Marsh mistakenly relied on incorrect information from a CCTV operator, this does not excuse the excessive force used. Taking all these factors into consideration, the seriousness of the conduct was assessed as high. As a result, the officer's record of service was considered, and whether a final written warning or a reduction in rank would be an appropriate sanction. However, P.C. Marsh cannot be reduced in rank as he is a constable. It was also considered whether a final written warning would be appropriate in this case. Given that P.C. Marsh already has a live final written warning, it was deemed that a lesser sanction would not be in the public interest. The panel stated, "It is entirely unacceptable for a police officer responsible for enforcing the law to break the law. Such behavior undermines public trust and confidence in policing and tarnishes the reputation of the MPS. If this behavior were not met with a strong sanction, the public would lose confidence in the integrity of the police service." Given the gravity of P.C. Marsh's actions, the panel found that no sanction less than dismissal without notice was justified. Therefore, the decision was that P.C. Marsh would be dismissed without notice and placed on the College of Policing's barred list.
That was a long and winded way of coming to the right conclusion. And did anyone else get a little panicked when they started talking about reducing rank and written warnings? It almost felt like they were trying to find ways around letting him go.
Well, that was the case of P.C. Marsh. What do you think? Should these panels wait for the court to make a ruling, or should they run their own investigation alongside the courts? Let us know in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next one.
More importantly, do you think the fact the police based this hearing on the conviction and not the actual actions of the officer was the right move? Because to me, the fact the hearing was based on the court's findings makes me feel like the police don't care about us, the public, and only care about our perception of them. I don't know, it just doesn't sit right with me. Anyway, that's my thoughts. Please feel free to share yours below. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more updates. Please be safe out there, people. And one more time, stay informed, stay aware, and remember, accountability matters.